If operators can understand how to integrate the technology, that actually allows them to scale, reduce risk, add value, and create efficiency.
But there's a huge gap to research the tech and know what fits for their portfolio or their platform.
There's just a ton of noise, especially in the world of AI today. Whether you're 1,000 homes or 100,000 homes, we're going to bring competitors on together to talk about how they differentiate themselves. I came into the SFR BTR space with about 25 years of experience, Fortune 100, Intel, bunch of startups, first CTO that became a 66,000 plus home platform.
This is a signature series. This is going to change how the industry thinks.
This is the Reshma Report.
This is a way to tune in, learn more about a particular space.
So this is Inside SFR BTR. I'm Gregory Frank along with Ryan Saturday. How you doing, Ryan?
Amazing. Better than I deserve, most likely.
Well, we're excited, man. Excited to be together. And of course, we've got some big news. Today, we're going to be announcing something new on Inside the Vendor Network.
That's right. And this is a signature series. This is going to change how the industry thinks about technology, operations, and growth.
Very exciting. So I believe we're going to learn all about, you ready for this? The Reshma Report. Reshma and Yovonne, welcome in. We're really glad that you're here today. And please share with us what you two are working on Inside the Vendor Network.
Well, Greg, we are super excited. I'm very excited to launch the Reshma Report. And also, we'll be talking a little bit about something called the Reshma Rap Sheet. So I will let Reshma talk a little bit about that. But thank you for having us on Inside SFR BTR. We're excited to be here and be launching a new signature series.
Thank you, Yvonne. I'm super excited, Gregory and Ryan, to be joining you guys on Everesi on this signature series. Can't wait to sift through all this tech noise and really dive into what is out there, what should operators be utilizing to help make their platforms more efficient.
And Reshma, you've been in this space a long time. Tell us just a little bit about, what your journey has been like here in the SFR BTR space.
Yeah, appreciate it. So I came into the SFR BTR space with about 25 years of experience from big tech, Fortune 100, a little chip company called Intel, bunch of startups, my own consulting platform. And then I came to Tricon Residential. And what was really compelling to me was that I could be their first CTO. But more important than that, it was really the ability to design their entire platform so that we could scale what eventually became, a 66,000 plus home platform.
And you know what story I love the best? Is that really somebody wanted to talk to your husband first. And then your husband said, you know what? You want to speak to my wife.
That's right. That's a good point. Yeah, when they were hiring, the COO or now current COO came up to my husband and said, they have an opening. And he's like, this is really kind of up Reshma's alley. You should talk to her.
It's awesome.
Fantastic.
5 years later, we built an amazing platform. I'm here to and excited to share.
I love it. And we love to learn a little bit about folks. So tell us where you're based, kids. I know you're a big Lakers fan. Give us a little bit behind the curtain on Reshma.
Absolutely. Based in Orange County, California, born and raised in LA. Only spent like 4 years in the Bay, and even that was too cold for me. So born and raised in Southern California, living in Orange County today. My husband and I have been married 25 years. We actually just renewed our vows. We're college sweethearts.
Woo!
And we have two beautiful children. Yeah, we have two high schoolers, a freshman and then a senior, trying to figure out where she's going to end up. And yes, I'm a huge Laker fan. If you can see that photo frame right there and that ring, that's actually a championship ring from 2020. Photo of me as an honorary captain with Kobe Bryant at the 2008 Lakers Celtics finals. Yes. And shout out to Luka, 60 points last night against Miami. Woo woo.
Oh my God. You're going to bring sports on to Everesi as well.
Look,
I love it.
I mean, yeah.
And how did you two connect?
Oh, wow. Reshma and I sat on the board together at the NRHC for Women in SFR.
Right.
So we align on a lot of similar things that are important to us. And we last year reconnected and have just stayed connected. And a beautiful friendship actually has bloomed through this. And then, I was driving home from Atlanta one day, and Reshma will call with her ideas, right? And some of the most amazing ideas. She says, "I've got an idea," and she says, "I think we could add value around tech." But I don't want my own show. And I think you could be on the show too. And, we verbally processed this. And I was like, but wait a minute. So you could be a co-host. And she said, no, I'm not going to be a co-host. I'm going to be the first guest. And I was like, I'm confused. And so we've worked through this, and, it makes sense. So I think from my lens, looking at tech from a vendor standpoint, bringing owner operators on and then having the expert in the room, that's where the magical moment hit me. And I was like, yeah, this makes sense. And, Gregory, you and I were kind of brainstorming, like, how were we going to bring the tech conversation to the Everresi Media environment and ecosystem? And voila, here we go. And I think it's just a testament that when you put a good group of people together, like you have done at Everresi Media, together we're better, and things just happen. I'm excited to see what happens. So, and who we can bring on this show.
I couldn't agree more, Gregory. One of the things I think that we were talking about is not everybody gets to have a CTO at their company. So how great would it be to be able to provide that through this platform and through Everresi? Because you guys are incredibly innovative in the SFR BTR space, which is exactly what we need right now.
And we need both of you. And of course, I've shared my background, coming from the owner operator side, really in field services. So Dave Singland, founder of AMH, once said to me, this industry couldn't have existed in 2009. We really, launched right in 2010 because of the technology. So Reshma, just give us a big idea where, from 2010 to where we are today, what's changed?
Yeah. The fact that we now have an iPhone, right? Mobility has changed. In scattered site, the huge opportunity really presented itself, unfortunately, when the GFC happened, but also when technology became more mobile. And as we could now, instead of aggregating individuals and humans for every home or every home that we operated, we could actually leverage technology to help operate those homes and still provide the type of resident experience we wanted to, at scale, even though it's not consolidated to one address anymore. And so really mobility and technology changed this entire landscape and what allowed us to really scale.
There's a huge gap, right? I think that the industry is feeling that gap close in on them, and they don't know where to begin to research the tech and know what fits for their portfolio or their platform. And then as a vendor, it's like, how are we going to integrate? But I've heard Reshma say something which was so strong, is that you had someone say, how should we be using AI? And your answer was, don't be asking how to be using AI. The better question is, what problem are you trying to solve?
Mhm.
I love your approach on the problem solving.
Yeah, thank you. And that's why I fundamentally believe that approach helps create technology as an underwritable asset, in my opinion, right? Because if you're solving true business problems, you're compressing risk, you're creating a great resident experience, you're actually creating efficiencies in your operations, that's potentially is valuable. And, where the light bulb really clicked for me was in August of last year. Fitch Ratings, it's an independent, rating agency, cited our operating platform at Tricon as the reason for giving a 5% uplift on $1.5 billion securitization when, a set of homes came over to our platform. And so that got me thinking, well, that's true value add. That's actually measurable. And so if operators can understand how to integrate the technology that actually allows them to scale, reduce risk, add value, and create efficiency without a ton of noise, without a ton of, extra headcount and what I refer to as silent failures because things weren't integrated well. That's when you start to really see it pay off.
Mm-hmm. And so for investors, developers, operators, that are coming in from alternative asset classes, and you sit and have these conversations and they're new to rental housing, where do you begin the conversation and from a technology point?
What is the resident experience you're attempting to achieve? What do you want the resident to, talk about you by? What do you want to be known for? What's the real value you're attempting to create? Because let's be honest, residents have choices today, right? Homes are sitting on the market a little bit longer before they're being rented. And so the first question I always ask is, what is the journey going to be like for the resident? How easy is it going to be to apply? What's the communication like? Can they move in quickly? What's the living experience like that you want them to have? How do they get their maintenance resolved? That's the conversation we start with, and then we layer on the right tech for the right size for the right company.
Yeah, there's so many areas such as fraud, right? There's risk. There's vacancies because the technology doesn't allow someone to apply easily. So there's so many avenues that I think we're going to be able to unpack. But there's so many different tech companies that solve even a part of it, all of it, or they claim to. So this is going to be kind of like a consumer reports, right? So which toaster oven am I going
Right.
to, right? Like, I had dinner with a pretty big portfolio owner, and I said, what if you had a resource where you could turn and kind of cut through the noise and get down to the problem that you're trying to solve and figure out which tech stack you should begin looking at versus leading through all of this? And I was sitting with a COO and a VP of construction on build to rent, and both of them said that'd be great because they've had to test a lot of things and it's really time consuming. So this is going to allow you to kind of get to the finish line a little bit faster of solving problems.
Yeah, that's right. When we layer in different technologies and we don't think about the journey, what we end up doing is creating so much friction for the resident every step of the way. We don't keep track of the times they called us, so they have to repeat themselves. We don't realize that they've already applied to this home. And so, yeah, we're going to sift through the features. And we're even going to talk about things like, pilots. Is this technology vendor a one-way door or a two-way door? Meaning, can you pilot with them and back out really quickly? Or once you're, even piloting, you're kind of stuck with them, right? Based on how big the lift is to integrate and reduce that friction. So yeah, we're going to really dive deep and, kind of provide a virtual CTO consumer reports type environment for all the operators out there with the vendor's help.
So Reshma, so what can people expect from you in each of these reports?
Yeah, great question, Ryan. So first we're going to start with what is the problem that we're attempting to solve with this technology, right? What space do they actually fit in? Our first episode is actually going to be on what I refer to as maintenance orchestration. Not just maintenance. The orchestration piece is key because again, end to end, what is the resident experiencing and what is the operator experiencing? And so we're going to talk about the resident's truth and the operator's truth when they use this particular vendor. And we're going to bring competitors together. We're going to first bring Mason, which is an AI native maintenance orchestration platform led by Nitin Gupta. And we're also going to bring Bo from Lula that provides end-to-end maintenance, also AI based with actual third-party technicians that can go to the homes as well. And so we're going to talk about how they differentiate, how they collaborate. And then I'm going to break down the Reshma report, the rap sheet. Are they reliable? How easy is it to adopt them? And what's their performance like?
Yeah, so it's not a Siskel and Ebert thumbs down, thumbs up, thumbs down.
No,
it's more,
no.
here's what it is.
So no rotten tomatoes here.
No rotten tomatoes, no winners and losers. This is how do you want to think about adopting their technology? Where does it fit? These guys will both tell you when you talk to them, honestly, there's a space for, Mason, and then there's a space for Lula. It just depends on where you're at in your platform.
It's an agnostic view of the tech, right? And not for just the large owner operators, but also the smaller owner operators that don't even necessarily belong to any of the other trade associations where they get exposure to some of this. We're going to take that exposure and deep dive it, regardless if you're going to conferences, not going to conferences. We're actually take this beyond conference talk.
And the reason it's okay to only have two on for maintenance, right? is because the Reshma Report actually shows you how to analyze the vendors, right? Same report to go take to other vendors that are in this space to, kind of think about how reliable is it? How easy is it to adopt? What's their performance like? And so we're really providing people with this virtual CTO.
So Rashma and Yvonne, so what I'm hearing, right? So this rap sheet is going to be a tool. It's a resource. So you're really empowering no matter everyone, every owner, operator, developer, investor, no matter what seat you sit in, you're really providing them resources that have really only been available to the largest of operators until now.
Yeah, that's right. The way I think about it is that there's so many great vendors out there providing so much different technology. And there's also vendors that are overlapping. And so what I'm doing is really providing this rap sheet that talks about reliability. How easy is it to adopt? And then the performance of these vendors, but really to be able to adapt it to any technology, quite frankly. And so this is a way to tune in, learn more about a particular space, and then take the rap sheet and hopefully adopt it in your own technology pursuits, right? To see what the right fit is for you, whether it's in maintenance orchestration or something else. That's what we really want to provide as a resource.
So your audience is actually going to walk away, maybe virtually or digitally, with a rap sheet that they can then provide a playbook on how to evaluate their own next steps.
That's right. Yep. This is how I, Reshma Block, would think about this technology and technology in my environment. Here you go, so that you can think about it that way and adopt it to your needs as well.
So you're going to empower an entire industry to reimagine technology and how to utilize it.
So we stop talking about just features and we really start talking about the journey, the integration, and the removal of friction so that our industry provides the best resident experience.
It's a testament, Greg, to what you've built at Everresi Media and the platform of bringing the top voices that isn't unavailable in any other avenue, right? We're going to go deeper. We're going to get a little more granular than you would get at a conference where those conversations tend to be more high level. You're going to get access to a CTO who built and integrated one of the largest portfolios from that lens, but also has the ability to look into a smaller portfolio. And we'll bring on other guests who are experts in this space and maybe co-host instead of me, bring someone else in to co-host in some special episodes. We'll see where this journey takes us. We're not locked into any particular format other than the one that's going to bring the most value to our audience.
And we're only 8 weeks away from the time we're recording this to IMN's SFR East, which of course is Miami in May. So Rashma, I just have to say one of the privileges of sort of sitting in this seat is I get to talk to influential top voices and top thought leaders like yourself. So I'm excited. So you'll be in Miami, but I do have to share with you, you're a bit of my conference crush. You're able to communicate technology in a space that I'm not in. And you do such a remarkable job of really breaking down the basics.
Thank you. Well, one, I'm excited to be at IMN Miami. I think it's going to be a great conference. I appreciate that. Technology is my passion, but it's really around the problems we get to solve, the ability to accelerate businesses. That's where I think, the mad. I appreciate being your crush. Happy to be your crush.
Conference crush.
But I really appreciate the Everresi platform that you and Ryan have put together and Inside the Vendor Network with Yovonne, because this is, for me, really the first time outside of, a conference or two where I get to really, share this passion and hopefully provide value.
Well, I know Ryan and I are excited to have the opportunity to amplify your voice and with Yvonne across the Everresi platform.
Well, we're honored at Inside the Vendor Network to bring yet another amazing talent to the Everresi Media platform. I'm really looking forward to this. I think the vendor base and the audience that we've been building since our launch in October is really going to appreciate the value here. I mean, it's really invaluable. So, Reshma,
no pressure.
Thank you.
This is going to be big.
Thank you for trusting me to co-host this with you. That means a lot to me as well. And so just a testament to no pressure on me here. So I'm the one sweating bullets.
That's right. I'm just a second guest, remember, right? No, thank you all. I really appreciate it. I think this is going to be fun. We're going to have some fun together and hopefully provide some great value.
And empower a lot of folks to make calculated decisions.
Well, and
Agreed.
Greg, the only way to wrap it up is with your famous words. Let's go.
It's so funny. I think, Yvonne, you say that more than I say that now.
I mean,
Reshma Block, Yvonne Kenny, the Reshma Report, Inside the Vendor Network, coming to the Everresi Media Network monthly, starting in April. Congratulations and welcome to the team.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for having me. Truly honored.